On the 3rd November of 2025, an anonymous user posted a satellite image on X that quickly went viral, being viewed more than 15 million times. The user purported that the image depicted a huge, dark stain of blood littered with the bodies of hundreds of victims from a recent massacre in Sudan. You've maybe even seen this image yourself, but the image isn't what you think it is. Information provided by Google Earth showed that this particular satellite image was captured in March of 2024, and in reality, it simply shows a watering hole with a herd of cattle drinking. But what's truly infuriating is that while this mega-viral post was false, the greatest crime of the entire 21st century was actually taking place just 300 kilometers away, in the city of Fasher, and the entire world is actively ignoring it. Chapter 1. The 18-month siege. When the current civil war in Sudan began in April 2023, the Rapid Support Forces, or RSF, almost immediately began laying siege to Fasher. They trapped nearly all of its estimated 260,000 residents inside, half of whom were children. For the next 18 apocalyptic months, the RSF bombarded the city with artillery and drones, refusing to allow any food in, steadily letting the population weaken to famine. By August 2025, the RSF constructed a massive berm, a raised sand barrier completely encircling the city to control flow of people. Finally, on the 26th of October, the city was overwhelmed. The RSF flooded in and immediately began carrying out enormous, ethnically targeted and systematic door-to-door mass executions. Satellite images captured over a former children's hospital showed the courtyard filling up with white shapes and a massive excavation area in the soil, suggesting a catastrophic war crime. Nathaniel Raymond, the executive director of Yale's Humanitarian Research Lab, suggested that more people could have died in just 1 week in Fasher than have died during the past 2 years of war in Gaza. If accurate, that's a scale of killing not seen anywhere since the Rwandan genocide in 1994. Chapter 2. The Origins of the Nightmare. To understand how this happened, you have to look at the history. Many commentators simplify the Darfur conflict as ancient ethnic tensions between Arabs and Black Africans, but everyone present in Darfur is equally Black, equally Muslim, and equally indigenous. The identities are actually based on occupation: Arabic-speaking nomadic herders in the north and non-Arabic-speaking sedentary farmers in the south. In the 1980s, a catastrophic drought and famine killed an estimated 95,000 people, forcing desperate nomads to move south into farming lands, sparking conflict. This ecological crisis was weaponized by outside forces, specifically Muammar Gaddafi's Libya. Gaddafi created a paramilitary militia called the Islamic Legion, pushing an Arab supremacist ideology across the region. By the early 2000s, the Sudanese government armed these Arabic-speaking militias, which came to be known as the Janjaweed, to crush local rebellions. Between 2003 and 2005, around 300,000 people in Darfur were likely killed as a direct result of their actions. In 2013, Sudan's dictator elevated these exact militias into a completely separate armed force, the Rapid Support Forces, the RSF. Chapter 3. The Secret Funder. Today, the RSF is heavily equipped. Verified footage has shown their fighters armed with M4 American-made rifles, advanced Chinese CH-95 drones, and hundreds of Javelin missile systems. But how does a rebel militia get this kind of hardware? The primary force enabling the RSF is a key U.S. ally, the United Arab Emirates. The UAE is funneling massive amounts of weapons to the RSF, utilizing cargo planes to airports across the border in Chad, often disguising these arms shipments as humanitarian missions. Why? Because the UAE wants access to Sudan's strategic Red Sea ports, and most importantly, its rich gold deposits. A clandestine arrangement has been established. Weapons flow towards the RSF, and gold flows back to the UAE. Gold from RSF-run mines in Darfur is smuggled across borders and airlifted directly to Dubai. In 2024, 91% of Sudan's entire $1.6 billion worth of exports to the UAE was gold. Outro. The leverage of silence. The key to halting these massacres in severing the supply chain of weapons flowing from the UAE. But the UAE is a major U.S. ally, purchasing tens of billions of dollars in American weapons, hosting a major U.S. Air Force base, and committing to invest $1.4 trillion into the United States.